Good afternoon from Portland, Oregon. I have arrived after about 40 hours on the train from Chicago, 2 nights, parts of 3 days in total. Things went pretty well overall, no real issues. Had a beautiful drive in here on the train coming into Oregon along the Columbus River. It was just incredible. Anyway, I'm here at the Hotel Rose, which is owned by Pineapple Hotels, I think it's called. I'm a little bit early. I can't check in yet, so I am going to go find a burger because I am starving and I'm very tired of eating train food after the last 2.5 days. So we're going to head over to Portland Burger and check it out. Alright, I am back from Portland Burger, potentially the best onion rings and burger that I've had in quite some time. Yeah, that hit the spot perfect. So I got back to just as I was walking back to the hotel, I got a page that my room was ready. So we are here for the next 2 nights. And before I make a mess of everything, I figured I'd give you a quick tour. So here's the bathroom, pretty standard. Nice shower head, lots of shampoos and things. And here is the main area, which looks very fancy, very nice. Nice big size, king size bed, TV, nice desk to work from, coffee, water, all the good stuff that comes with it for free. And not terrible view. Got a view of the little bit of the city over there and the fair. This is going to work just great for me after about 40-ish hours on the train. I'm here for 2 nights. We'll see what the weather's like tomorrow. It's supposed to be pretty rainy, I think, so I'm not sure how much sightseeing I'm going to get done in Portland. This may end up just being a work stop to kind of get caught up on some things, but we'll see what goes. So for now, that's it. Room is here. Price is here. I'm here. Time for a shower. Talk to you later. Good morning. It's Friday, May 24th here in Portland. I slept an extremely long time last night. It was the best sleep I've had in probably a week plus, so it's great. Today is my one full day here in Portland. Today I thought I would go get some breakfast to start and then go for a little wander around town. Check out some of the spots in downtown, some of the more touristy ones, some of the less touristy ones maybe, see if I can figure out how to hop on the tram cars without injuring myself or somebody else, and go from there. So let's get out of here and get going. I believe it's supposed to rain later today after lunchtime, so I'm going to try and have a little look around before the rain really starts. So let's get started. So it was a tasty breakfast, all fueled up, got some extra coffee to go, which is always helpful. And now we're going to head over towards Chinatown here in Portland and check out Chinatown and one of the more famous parks in the city as well. So we're here at Lansu Garden. This place was built in 2000 or so to replicate a 16th century Chinese garden. And it's right here in the heart of Portland, just in Chinatown. And it was $14, I think, to get in, but they get you in for the whole day, so you can kind of come and go as you please. And yeah, I just want to kind of have a look around and see what it's like. Behind me here we get some very intricate bonsai trees. That is pretty amazing. Yeah. There's actually, it looks like about 10 or so different sections to this garden. And I have to say, even just being here, I mean, between here and the city. It's remarkably quiet in here, considering how close it is to everything else. This is the Painted Boat Terrace. Here we have the Rock Mountain and Waterfall section. I'm currently in Section C, the Scholars Courtyard. So that park was amazing. Such a nice little quiet space in the middle of the city. So now, since I'm in the neighborhood, I'm gonna head over to the most touristy place in the city, I think. But it's gotta be done, so you'll see. Great, thank you.
Be $11.25.
Great.
Do you want to receipt today?
No, I'm good. Is there somewhere to sit outside there, is it? Great, thank you very much. You too. Thanks. Yes, Voodoo Donut. The famous place that has now become kind of cliche over the years, but nonetheless, I do like a good killer donut. So I picked up 3 from the place. We have the Portland cream, which I assume is their version of the Boston cream. We have a maple bacon, and then we have the El Diablo, which is a triple chocolate. So I'm going to try those out now and have a sugar crash, and then probably going to need to take a nap afterwards. Since I'm naturally a fan of Boston creams, I'm going to try the Portland cream. That's really good. So, contrary to what you would expect, I only ate one donut for now. I'm getting better. Really good, tasty. You know, Voodoo Donuts is kind of famous for restarting the whole donut craze in the last decade or so. I think that for the most part, it's mostly a touristy kind of place now. I'm sure there's probably other local places that are even better. But yeah, it was good. So I got the other two for now. Save those. Gonna stop back at the hotel for a second and then keep on from there. I have to say, I've really been enjoying the vibe of Portland so far. I am always acutely aware that you're visiting someplace for a day or a few days, that it's easy to not really understand the full scope of, you know, what living somewhere is like. But at the surface level, Portland is definitely my jam. Let me actually stop here at the Portland Outdoor Store for a second and see if they have any of my water bottles, since I left mine behind in Chicago. So no water bottle, but enough cowboy stuff to clothe a small army, I would say. Pretty cool spot, but not what I'm looking for. Good afternoon. It is about 2 o'clock now in the afternoon. I ran back to my hotel real quick just to drop some stuff off, get some fresh batteries, and headed again. So I'm just heading up now to the Oregon Historical Society, which is sort of a local museum that has a bunch of history regarding Portland and the whole Northwest as an area. It looks really interesting based on the bit of research I did. It's 2 floors, and the upstairs is a large sort of multimedia experience about the history of the Northwest and of Portland and, you know, all those types of things. It looked really interesting from what I saw, so I thought I would take a walk up there and have a look at it before it closes. I think it's closed at 5 o'clock today, so I wanted to get up there before it was too late. Anyway, so far initial impressions of Portland have been really good. Yeah, definitely my kind of city, laid back, and I'm not quite sure what the population is, but for a big city, or for a bigger city, it feels really small. Not a lot of traffic, not a lot of crowds, especially for a Friday. You'd sort of think it would be busy around, but it's really not. Weather's great. I mean, this is my kind of weather. It's like, you know, mid-teens in Celsius, and just, yeah, lots of greenery and good vibes. And pretty good donuts, not gonna lie. Anyway, let's get moving from here and head on up to the Historical Society. Just stopped here for a second. This is Chapman Square, right in the middle of the city. Nice little park, water fountain, huge trees, really nice spot. So as you walk through here, you start with the prehistory and work your way through up to modern times. Oregon and the West Coast, you know, Pacific Northwest, have tens of thousands of years of history. Long before British or other European settlers came, there was obviously a long history here with indigenous groups for thousands of years. This would have been one of the first areas in the Americas actually settled when people migrated from Asia across the Bering Strait.
People are coming from all over, and they come from
definitely the place you want to come to if you want to learn more about the history of the Pacific Northwest and Portland in particular and Oregon. There's just a load of information here about all aspects. You can even see some of the original coinage and bills that were issued as Oregon joined the United States in 1859. So by the late 1800s and into the early 1900s, the natural resources in this part of the country became very important. And so, railways were built, people moved west, and this whole area grew up very quickly over a very short period of time. And of course, with that migration of people also came a lot of conflict, broken promises, and disagreements over treaties and things that had happened, especially to the indigenous groups that were here at the time. Many were forced out of their original locations, and so many battles were fought over the years as a result. The women's suffragette movement was very strong in the West, and after the 1905 World's Fair by Lewis and Clark, there were several votes held, and finally in 1912 the right to vote was given to women. Unfortunately, it did not include everybody, including Asian immigrants and Native Americans were not allowed to vote until much later. This was a picture of First Street in Portland in 1857, which is not too far from here. Kind of love pictures like this where you see like an old one and a new one in the same area, and I think it's really kind of neat to see, how things have changed over the years. There was an exhibit like this back in Halifax, I believe, a few years ago that I saw that was similar to this. And I always find them really cool to see how much has changed, but yet then also, how much is the same. So that was a tour of the Oregon Historical Society. Really cool spot here in Portland. If you're looking to, do something on a rainy day, or you just want to check out some more of the history, this is the place to be. It's tons of information in there. Wayne, what I showed you was just a very brief overview of everything that was inside. So great, awesome spot. Highly recommend it. So from here, we're going to head down by the waterfront and check out a few of the parks there. I believe there's actually a big festival here this weekend. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss it. I'm back on the train tomorrow, but let's take a walk down to the waterfront and have a look around. So this is the Tom McCall Waterfront Park. It was opened in 1978. runs quite a long distance here along the waterfront, as you can see. Really nice spot here, open fountain in the background, and yeah, just it's a really nice place to do some people watching if you're into that, which I am. And yeah, you can watch the traffic go by on the bridges. Let's take a little walk up this way. I believe there's a festival here this weekend. However, I believe it starts tomorrow, but you can see that they've got it fenced off in there in preparation and doing a bunch of setup and things, I think, in advance of it. This is the Portland Spirit, which I assume is some sort of tour boat parked down here at the waterfront. I believe back in 2012 this was named one of the best public spaces in the United States. Maybe top 10, top 20, something like that. Just for the, you know, waterfront walkways here, so that it's all wide open, and a lot of events happen down here on the waterfront as well all year long. At least the rain held off today. A little sprinkle earlier, but nothing too serious, and yeah, it turned out to be an alright day. So my time in Portland is quickly coming to an end. I am on the train tomorrow by this time, but it's already been a pretty busy day today, and tomorrow is basically getting packed up and ready to go. Final thoughts about Portland. I love it. Really cool city, really cool vibe. Lots to see and explore. Some unique looking buildings here as well, which is pretty cool. And you know, there's a great downtown waterfront vibe. And I mentioned earlier, really surprised by how small the city feels considering its size. Like, I'm downtown here, and you know, in a lot of other places it would be not wall-to-wall people, but pretty busy. And here it just kind of, you know, it's laid back. You can kind of wander around and not feel like you're getting into crowds and stuff too much. And yeah, everything's just, you know, everything's pretty cool. So really impressed. We'll add this one to my list, come back and explore some more. There's so much more here. I know I say that everywhere I go, but there's so much more here to see. Would have loved to get out of the city a little bit and explore, like up by Mount Hood and those areas in the mountains. I got a quick glimpse of it yesterday on the train as we were coming in to Portland, but yeah, it looks amazing, and that'd be one thing I'd add to my list to come back and do. Or if you're coming here for more than, you know, 48 hours, I would highly recommend probably getting out of the city as well and checking out some of the nature. And there were loads of tours for waterfalls and all of those kinds of things as well. Just not enough time, but good to know for next time. You know, a lot of these US stops are pretty short for the most part, and I'm never going to fit in everything that I want. But it's a good overview for me to make mental notes along the way of things to do, things to see, in addition to what I've already gone and seen this time. Some might know this already, but I was to the Pacific Northwest before. Back in 1998, I actually flew out here to visit a friend and hung out with her and a bunch of her friends for the week. Had a blast up in Seattle. Got out to visit Snoqualmie Falls outside the city, and a very romanticized version of the Pacific Northwest back then. Now here it is, you know, 25, 30 years later, and I'm back here again, and it's, yeah, I mean, it's the same as I remember it in terms of the, you know, the attitude, the laid back feel to the place. And then of course all of the nature just a short drive away. You can actually get to Mount Hood from here on the local trains. I think it said it was like $6 or something for, but it's about 3 hours each way, but it's possible. So that would have been really cool, you know, like I said, to see that. The last time I was here, I was like 25 or so when I went and visited Seattle, and now I'm back again, and I will return again, hopefully not in another 25 years. But yeah, if you get the chance, I highly recommend coming and checking out Portland and the Pacific Northwest as a whole. There's, you know, endless things to do and see here. if there was one part of the US I would consider ever moving to, it would be this, just for the whole vibe. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you've enjoyed what you've been seeing, please like and subscribe down below. If you'd like to support what I'm doing, there's a couple links below. One is to my Patreon page, which offers a monthly subscription to bonus content. It starts as cheap as $1 US per month. If you'd like a one-time donation to the work that I'm doing, there's a link for that down there as well. And I appreciate anything, honestly. It's really cool just to be doing this. You know, I worked a really long, hard time to be able to do this, and yeah, if others are enjoying it too, well then all the better. Anyway, that's all for now from Portland. We'll see you on the next video, and remember, life is short. Wander. I'll see you next time.